So today I'm going to make a video going over exactly the system and the strategy that I use to double my account in 2 weeks. This is not a video for complete beginners. If you don't know how to read a candlestick and if you don't know what options are, then this probably won't make any sense to you. So first thing you need to do is have an understanding of a candlestick chart and on how options work, because that's what I used to trade. I might make a video explaining that a little bit later, but you can find a lot of videos on YouTube explaining what options are and how they work and how to read a candle. But today I'm just going to go over my system, and hopefully you can learn from that and implement this in your trading as well. So first thing I'm going to tell you is I don't have a magic indicator. So many new traders, and not even new traders, but so many traders in general are spent years trying to find a certain indicator that works. And I'm here to tell you you don't need any indicators. Now, indicators are helpful as a secondary tool, but they should never be the first thing you focus on. The first thing you should always focus on is the chart itself, the price action on the chart. You don't need indicator. You don't need to be chasing news headlines or some guru on Twitter or Instagram telling you what to buy or sell. The only thing you need to understand is how to read a stock chart. Every chart is telling a story. It's your job to figure out what that story is and where the stock wants to go next. So, the first thing, I trade supply and demand zones, support and resistance areas. So the first thing you want to do is figure out what direction the stock wants to go and figure out where the areas are that the stock reacts from. And then you base your trades around that. So the first thing you want to do is find the areas the stock is reacting from and find out what the stock is doing. So if we go to the SPY, we go to the daily chart, start with the daily chart. Sometimes I'll look at the weekly and the monthly charts, but usually start with the daily chart. And we look at this chart and we figure out what's happening. So the first thing we would do is come up here. That's the all-time high. We can see we came up here and we rechecked it from it. So next we pulled all the way back down. So we mark a low there. And we come over here, we see, why did that put a bottom in here? Well, over here this was a level of resistance. So we know this resistance turned support. That's what we want to see is anytime a stock breaks above a level of support, we want to see that level hold. And every time it breaks under, we want to see it hold it down if we want to short. So the first thing we notice, we come up here, we make a new high, we pulled all the way back down, we held, bounced back up, and now we could not get back over this level. And we actually made a lower high. So right now, you could technically say, the SPY started a downtrend because we made this lower high. However, it's not going to be technically a downtrend until we break this low. So right now, we can say the SPY is going sideways. It's a consolidation period for since this day over here, since we broke over this high, the SPY has been in a sideways trend. It's not been in a trend, it's been in a consolidation period. But now we're headed back down towards the bottom end of this area. So now let's zoom in and so what are we going to do with this level? This gives us a bigger picture idea of what's happening. But now we come down to a more specific, more detailed. So now we bounced off this level. We already know this was a support level. We bounced up and we created this gap up here. So the next thing we're going to do is mark the gap. Gaps are always a good spot to mark for supply or support and resistance. Price always seems to react around gaps. So we made this gap. We gapped up this day. So this created a vacuum. We pulled back, filled this gap, and then we went sideways for a couple of days and could not hold above this gap level. And today we broke back under this gap. So now, as long as we stay under this gap, this area right here, we're probably going to come down and test this area again. So that's kind of how you get your first idea of what's going on. You saw a gap, could not hold this gap. If this area would have held here, which it almost looked like it wanted to, you would have thought it was going to come back up here. But it didn't. Broke back down, and today was a good day to short back under this gap. Now we have another gap here that we got to be mindful of, but this area right here is more of a smaller time frame support and resistance area now. So then we start going smaller. We go to the 1 hour chart. Here we see the same thing. You see this gap back here, this new gap here, pushed up this morning, couldn't close above it, and we just drifted back down. And very likely this stock wants to come all the way back down to the support area down here. So now, once we got these areas marked out, start off with the daily, switch to the hourly. You can even go to the 4 hour to get a better picture. The 1 hour gives you a pretty good picture. Bring it down to the 15 minute. 15 minute is normally where I base my trades off of. So you look for the story on the daily chart, see what's going on. You break it down to the 1 hour to find your more specific levels. Then you break it down to the 15 minute to find your actual trade setups. So today we opened up down here. Now another thing that I always do, another area that the price likes to react around a lot are the highs, the lows, and closes of the day. So yesterday, let's come up here, we marked the low of yesterday. The lowest point the stock was in the previous day. The highest point the stock was in the previous day, and the close of the previous day are always 3 areas that I mark on my chart every day. Those areas are a very good spot for this price to react from. So you go to the 15 minute. See, we opened up down here. We pushed all the way up here till the close of 2 days ago. And then once the stock opens for the day, the next thing I do is mark the open of that day. And then I like to let the stock move for at least the first 15 to 20 minutes, or whenever it makes its first initial high. So see, we came up this morning, we pushed up for the first hour, and before we had a pullback. So this you could consider the initial morning high. This was the open, and this was the day's low. So in the first hour you had the low, the open, and the high established. Now you have your 3 levels to play off of. You have this gap fill up here. Now you have all your levels marked out, and this is what happens in a chop day. This is how you can tell if it's going to be a chop day, if it's going to be a trend day. We made this first initial move in the first hour. You mark your levels, and the rest of the day, the stock stayed inside these levels. Whenever that happens, that makes a really hard trading day. So this is a good time to just sit back and not trade. But these levels will be significant tomorrow. Like, see how at the end of the day, we drifted back down to this level. So we'll see how it opens tomorrow. But now tomorrow, we can watch these levels. It'll react it'll react around these levels as well. So that's how I go about to find my levels. Now, a couple indicators that I use. So the first thing is volume. Now volume, this gives you confirmation on how strong your move is. So if we're trending down and have these big volume like we do now, that's a good sign that the stock's going to continue down. If we're going up with high volume, it's a good sign that we're going to keep going up. See, up here on this whole uptrend on this time frame here, there was never any big green volume on this uptrend. So that meant this trend was weak. So as soon as this big volume started coming in, we smashed it back down to the downside. See how these red volume bars are way bigger than these green ones were over here? It means that the stock wants to go down. There's more selling pressure than buying pressure. Even if the stock is going up, if there's no conviction there, it's a good sign that we're about to have a turnaround. And then the next indicator that I use is the 9 EMA. And this is just there to help me kind of visualize a trend quicker. I don't base my trades out around it or anything like that, but if I see this trending down, it just helps visualize a downtrend. That's all that's there for. And oftentimes the stock will react around that as well. And then the other indicator that I use are the 100-day or the 50-day and the 200-day SMAs. Now, I don't trade off any of these. I just turn them on to help me understand what the stock is trying to do. This is a football analogy that might make sense. So imagine that the 80 EMA is your lineman, and then the 100-day and the 200-day are your linebackers and your safeties. So we were up here, linemen were containing the stock up here. Today, the stock got through the linemen and made a dash for the linebackers. So now the linebackers are here trying to stop it. And we'll see if they can stop it. And if they can't stop it, then it's a big gap down here till the safeties get here. So usually the stock holds on one side or the other of these stocks. So once it breaks, it usually goes to the next one. See how once it broke above the 50 here, it held all the way up here. We broke it down a little bit, but recovered right away, went all the way up. Finally, we broke past the linebackers, or the linemen. Came down here, the linebackers pushed him back up. Broke by the lineman, down to the linebacker. Now we'll see if they can hold it tomorrow. Tomorrow, this level right here, the 50-day, is going to be a pretty important level. Can they hold him or can they not? But I keep those turned off most of the time. I just check those in the morning to see where they're at. So that's about it. Doesn't have to be complicated. Just find your levels, mark out your levels, and wait for the price to react around them. Here we go with Nvidia. First thing we see here in the short term, at this little double top. Today we gapped way down here. We couldn't hold this level, came down to the next level. So the stock just goes from one level to the next. You just gotta find the level and design your trades around those levels. Same thing with Apple. Apple made this nice push. Now we have this bear flag. So finding patterns and finding levels. Sometimes the levels are patterns. Like with Apple right now. Right now Apple has this bear flag forming here. Strong move down, pushing up on low volume. Now today we broke out. So tomorrow, right now, this stock looks like it's going to come back down to the base of this flag. So we'll see if it can come down there. We'll play that tomorrow, see how the base of this flag lines up perfectly with the highest over here and the highest over here. So if you play this, you have to take profits once it comes down to this level, or we might see a big bounce off here. But tomorrow we can play this flag break, play it down to here, see what happens here, readjust. Maybe we trade a bounce off here, maybe we break down. We don't know, but we know where our levels are, and we wait for those levels to tell us something. Go to Google. So most of what I trade, the stocks I trade are all high liquid, mostly of the Mag 7 stocks. Like I like stocks that make nice moves and have high liquid options. You don't need to watch every stock in the market. All you need is a handful of stocks to watch every day. For me, it's the Mag 7. I trade Nvidia, Apple, Google, Palantir, Netflix, Microsoft, and Amazon. So let's look at a couple more of these. Google. First thing, this big gap back here. Tried to hold it yesterday. So for gaps, you can mark the opens and close. So here, this was the close of this day. It gapped up. Here was the open the next day. So this is the full gap. You can also mark the wicks, and those help too. But in this case, we don't need the wicks. So this gap is gapped up above this level. Tried to hold it here for a minute. Couldn't hold it. Fell back into this gap. And now we've been stuck inside this gap for about a month. Yesterday we broke out of it. It's trying to hang on here, but it's not looking good. So that we noticed this. Now let's look at where our players are. They were behind. We got through the linebackers. We got through the linemen. Now the safeties are all the way down here. So, and we had big red bearish volume. Little weak bullish bounce today. So we'll see what this does tomorrow, but it looks like that might come down here to the safeties. So we'll watch that. Palantir, same thing. Looking for your major levels. This one is very easy to spot the major levels. See how it came down here and bounced off this level like 5 times. And then yesterday we broke under it, couldn't get back over it. Now we've been on a 2-day downtrend. Now let's go find where it wants to go. We have to zoom all the way back here till we find another level of support, resistance, gap entry here. So we have a little bit of, right here we got a little bit of a support area, but broke under it. So looks like that wants to come down to this level. So same Netflix, major level here, broke under it. It's been short ever since. So that's all you need to do. Find your support and resistance levels and wait for the price to react around those levels. Don't be chasing price action that's in the middle of nowhere. If you're not reacting around one of those levels, then you have no idea where to enter, where you place your stop. And you never know if these levels are going to work or not, but they All you need is a good spot where to put your entry and your stop loss. It's like, I have this level, I'll put an order here. If it breaks this level, I get out. There's no guarantees. You never know. There's no level that's always going to work, but it gives you a good risk to reward. So all you have to do is go open your charts and go start marking out a lot of levels and watch how their stock reacts around those. So that's it for today. Go play around on your charts. We'll talk about entries and exits and position sizes in another video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll try to make a video answering all your questions. So good luck.